up, and this first set is dead even.
Unbelievable combination.
Wow.
Beautifully done.
What a great spot.
Hello and welcome to the 2025-26 APTA Men's and Women's National Championships. We're live from the Canoe Country Club in Summit, New Jersey, bringing you this 2026 APTA National Championships. Live streaming brought to you by the APTA membership and our tour presenting sponsor, Corians. Tournament support has also been provided by the following. Presenting sponsor, Land Rover Parsippany, where excellence comes standard. Platinum sponsors, Louse, helping clients achieve their investment objectives since 1984, New Jersey Men's League, New Jersey Women's Platform Tennis League, and our gold level sponsors, EPAC Private, Pure Hockey, Skinletics, UBS, Xenon, M4 and Biking, and our silver level sponsors, Boingo Social, Center Court, Spyro, Harrison and Nelson, Courtside Rehab and Training, Equals 5, Grant Holmes, Cisco, Susan Penny Parcells at Sotheby's, Jackson Lewis, Richard Wright from 1 Point EFG Wealth Partners, One Digital, Unity Jets, and Wealth Enhancement. I'm Steve Sullivan here with Lauren Mandel, bringing you this wire-to-wire experience of our women's round of 16 matches, starting off with Nube and Townsend versus O'Sullivan and Sarich. Lauren, welcome to the stream.
Hi, Steve. Thank you. This is going to be fun, bouncing around a little bit here.
Yeah, so we are doing this wire-to-wire experience. We have the bottom of the women's draw, so the bottom 3 matches in the round of 16. So we have Nube, Townsend, O'Sullivan, Sarich just kicking off, but we're also going to be bringing Paul Bauer-Zabori against McCallum and Oaks, and Nicoleski, Redenzo, and Fran Herschel. And we're going to sort of move around, see how it feels, and try and give us an experience of a lot of these matches here today.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a good one to start with. Both these teams are up and coming. I would say, Sarich has really been the breakout star of them this year. She won a tournament, got to the finals with another with Taya Page, and she and O'Sullivan make a really good team. They're the ones receiving. Right now, O'Sullivan's receiving. Everyone's wearing black, so it's tough to tell who's who. Sarich is the lefty in the deuce court on the other side, and Townsend is hitting the overheads right now, and her partner, Michelle Nube.
Yeah, 2 lefties. It's a nice little dynamic, and you mentioned as well, Lauren, Mila Sarich has really been the breakout sort of surprise. I think she came on the scene last year. She played a little bit with Daniela Baez last season, playing with Gussie O'Sullivan this year. And yeah, she seems to be getting better every week. Like, I think this is the most exciting thing. Not only do we have some new younger talent coming into the game, making these round of 16 matches pretty exciting, but the learning curve is still sort of behind her, right? So it's nice to see her patience, her technique, playing the screens, and of course using her lefty spins to her advantage has been really nice to see.
Yeah, and I was impressed when she got into the latter stages of those tournaments with Taya Page, how she really held up under pressure. You couldn't tell that she was sort of the new kid on the block, and I think that really speaks well of her, and I think that gave her a lot of confidence, and she was able to translate that to playing with her regular partner, Gussie O'Sullivan, who's a great partner for her. Super steady and athletic, and gets Sarich a lot of chances. And Nube and Townsend have played a ton of tournaments. I mean, they're also just getting more and more solid every time out. They're really working hard on their games. They're still waiting for sort of a signature win. But it's nice to see them improving also.
Yeah, they're one of those teams that's sort of consistently getting to the right part of the draw, like playing to where they should. And to your point, what you want from a breakout team is to see them surprise somebody, really bring it together, gel against one of the top 5, 6, 7 teams who may be a little bit more regular at this stage of the draw than they are. But yeah, I called one of their matches in Cincinnati a couple weeks ago, and yeah, there's just a huge backhand from Nube they have all the tennis technique and they have all the firepower. What I saw in Cincinnati and where they fell short was, do they have the patience, right? Do they have the ability to stay in points 20, 30, 40 shots and wait to pull the trigger? They can pull the trigger, but when do they decide to, take that big offensive, risk, so to speak? So yeah, it's nice to see them also playing to seed to get to the round of 16 here at Nationals.
Pulled that wide, but both Nube and Sarge love that backhand roller. The two lefties.
It's a pretty sneaky little shot, and it's surprising how effective a slice from the baseline can be to sort of, as a volleyer, hold that on your paddle and sort of get it up over the net. So you see that a lot. That big heavy slice causes the volley to sort of dip down into the net. All right, break point here. And it's a nice matchup, O'Sullivan and Saric, and it's interesting sometimes how teams come together and where complementary skills sort of make the marriage, productive, so to speak. But yeah, Gussie O'Sullivan, she's obviously been around a lot. She's a bit of a veteran and a very sort of steady, grinding fighter type of player. So I really think it's been a great, probably learning for Mila Saric to sort of play with somebody who's sort of more of a student of the game, a little bit more experienced, very patient on screens, very effective with a lob, like using the lobs to her advantage. So, wow, big start. Townsend sort of hit some really big ground strokes to start this match off.
Sometimes, she has that big spin overhead, Sarge, and it bites and it cuts, but that was just a soft, deep overhead, and sometimes that's the one that'll do the trick.
Yeah, you see that a little bit of Australian setup, and what they're doing by that approach is they're letting Mila Saric come to the net on her natural side where she can be playing her forehand down the center, having the forehand overhead. It can make for a difficult volley, right? It's a lot of ground to cover.
It's a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be quick and be able to volley from your shoestrings very well because it's just a long way to go. And if it works, it's great because you're where you want to be.
Yeah, really what they should, do from positioning standpoint is make sure Gussie O'Sullivan is almost on the center line.
Yeah.
Right, and if she serves it to the right part of the court, using geometry to her advantage, right? They sort of gives her less ground to cover. But yeah, it's an interesting approach that takes the variable of the switch off the table. And from a lefty perspective, I'm a lefty, so I'm sort of a fan of watching sort of the evolution of how she's using spin more and more on her overhead. She's really been shaping the ball, gaining more confidence, and that was a great example of using that back screen to sort of teardrop it into the side screen.
The umpire in the chair is Dave Nejedlik, I think. I can't actually see him, but that's who's supposed to be there.
You don't recognize the shoes?
I don't know. I should have before when I saw him before. I should have checked out his shoes. It's a rare unforced error. I mean, O'Sullivan's so steady with that backhand slice.
So the other matches, we're going to stay here for a minute, but the other matches looks like they have gotten out on the court as well. So Cran Herschel, Nicolescu Redenzo just in their first game, and of course we're following along on courtdirector.com to get some live scores. And Hallbauer and Zabori up to a quick 3-love lead against McCallum and Oaks.
30-15.
And you see a little bit of an interesting setup. Saric may just miss, loves her backhand, and for a good reason. It's an absolute killer. It's a huge backhand, and it's not as traditional to see someone set up to say, I want the backhand, I'm going to hit the backhand. But she does, and she's very effective at it. It's definitely one of her, her assets in her game.
People do it. I mean,
Yeah.
I do it, and I'm not the only one, and that's one of the interesting things about paddle. You can really make it so you get to hit the shot you want to hit a lot of the time, especially on a serve return.
And that's the other thing Saric loves to do, is she likes to take big balls off the deck and sometimes not let the screen be her friend and sort of diffuse it. She's very good at it. So we're back to deuce, and the women's game is playing out deuce. So we're best 2 out of 3 sets, full ad scoring.
Steve, I know you just commentated the Drew Broderick-Tomas Christian match. How long do you think that match would have taken if they were playing regular scoring?
Yeah, we hit the 3 hour and 10 minute mark maybe, or maybe 3:20. So yeah, that's one of the benefits, right? Us as commentators, Lauren, it's been a little bit of a benefit, but also for the audience and the spectators.
Not to mention the players.
And the players, right? This is a long day. It's a huge athletic marathon for them. And, players were getting hurt. Some players there was more cramping last year. We were getting 5 hours more than we wanted. So I think it's been a great innovation by the APTA. And not surprisingly, some of the women's matches have been getting longer and longer this season as well, which has been very, very nice to see. So, yeah, it's been a nice change of pace.
All right, a chance for New Bay and Townsend to get on the board here.
Yeah, ball just stayed in.
Yeah, I thought it was out.
Not afraid to hit it.
Sealouse is a woman-owned broker-dealer and asset management firm delivering disciplined execution, innovative investment strategies, and trusted market expertise to clients across the country. A partner committed to helping our clients achieve their financial goals and being impactful in our community.
All right, so nice to get on the board there. Lauren, what do you say? This is a wire-to-wire experience, so you want to pop over to another match and see what's going on? Where do you think we should go?
I think we should. I think we should go and see what's happening in the Cran Herschel and Niculescu Rudesno match.
All right, so let's see if we can pop over there. All right, here we are. You can see in the scoreboard, just sort of getting going, but 1-0 to Cran and Herschel to start this match.
We have 4 veterans of the game here.
Yeah, Cran Herschel are a very steady team. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, at Short Hills, they had a nice backdraw win against Sarish and O'Sullivan after they almost took out Zabori and Hallbauer in the round before that. So it was sort of an interesting backdraw match that was maybe -16, feels like, on the thermometer. So it was a brutal day at Short Hills. But yeah, this team can play.
Yeah, I mean, they're very smart players. They have very good, solid volleys. They're just very steady and consistent and played the game well. Now, Niculescu, is famous for that roller that you're going to see right now.
Yeah.
Well handled by Herschel, but she can really take the racket out of your hands. And Rudesno packs a punch too. She's very smooth. So on the other court, hitting that volley, on the other side of the court are Niculescu and Rudesno. Rudesno's just swung at the roller. And on this side, Cran in the back and Herschel.
So Rudesno, Lauren, remind us some of her background and experience and pedigree in the game. She's played with a few different partners in the past, right?
She has. She won nationals with Macy Elliott in 2020. So that was, I think she started off playing with Liz Cruz, and she, won nationals obviously with Macy Elliott. She's been playing this year. She was out for a while. She didn't play for a while. She's been playing this season. They came back sort of in the middle of the season with Niculescu and Rudesno, and with Niculescu. And they're someone their team you just don't want to see in the draw because they can beat anyone.
And a lot of firepower, right? She's
Yes.
got very big ground strokes.
And you'll see she doesn't look like she's hitting the ball hard, Rudesno. She's very smooth, but she packs a big punch. Niculescu is a 3-time national champion. She won in 2016 with Martina Andrekova, and 2018 and 19 with Liz Cruz. So a lot of national champions on this court.
And as a spectator, these are the types of matches where you can sort of just absorb and sort of watch and learn not just the technique and the firepower, but sort of how these teams are constructing points, how they're thinking about, when they're executing their offense or when they're being patient. So yeah, a lot of experience, a lot to learn from these four.
One of the most interesting things I think about watching Niculescu play is a number of years ago when, she first sort of broke into the game, her roller was just, nobody had ever seen anything like it. I mean, other people hit rollers, but hers was just so much more dynamic, and she hit it from so far back. And she just used to get a lot of points from it. And to the credit of the women, people, figured out how to hit it themselves. I mean, now there's other people who hit tremendous rollers, but also really learned how to defend it. And so it's harder for Niculescu to just kind of, every time I say that, she hits somebody with a roller. It's hard for Niculescu to just blow top players off the court the way she used to have an easier time doing. I mean, fortunately for her, she volleys tremendously well. She has really good drives from the back. She has many other facets to her game. But that shot has been neutralized a little bit by a lot of players.
You know, that last point, you know, we talk about that acronym swinging volley a lot. And whether it's, you know, a intentional like body shot or, you know, everybody plays a little differently, but it's so impressive and difficult to defend because the first thing you have to do is get out of the way.
Right. And once you get out of the way, it's too late to run forward. Like, that's the problem with that shot. If you try to get out of the way or move back a little bit, you're never catching up to the ball. You have to learn to immediately run forward. But when the ball's coming at you, it's not so easy to do because you're protecting yourself.
And that was Cran in that situation. She was both protecting her body and trying to figure out, you know, should I do something different? But you're right, it comes off the back screen so fast, up back towards the net, and your first reaction is moving back. So it's incredibly effective. All right, so let's just going to look here at some scores here on Court Director. You know, we also have Lopez Page out there on the other side of the draw playing Prendergast and Zink, up 5-2 in the first set. Alexandre and Boer, Delmonico Gebbia, that's a tight first set. Alexandre and Boer up 4-3. So yeah, this round of 16 has sort of gotten off to a quick start. Also Elliot Lalich up 5-love. So yeah, this match is one of the more competitive ones on the board at the moment.
And New Bay and Townsend have tied it at 2-all. So that was, they were down 2-love quickly and they tied it back up. We'll go back there at some point.
This is Redenzo serving. Oh, just an absolute patient killer of a softball back to the back screen. Once you get those teams moving and bringing people forward, at that point, Cran was sort of out of the point, and a lot of court for, you know, Herschel to cover in that case. Oh, she played it, looked out.
Yeah, I thought it was out. Oh, ball came over. I couldn't imagine what happened there.
Not sure if they didn't get it all the way back there. Or... All right, here we go. Redenzo serving to Cran.
Besno and Nicolescu don't really have the cutting spin overheads that some other players have. I mean, they both have terrific rollers and they can place their overheads really well, but those cutters and sliders aren't part of their game.
So it looks like there's a little bit of a tactical preference to play to Cran's side, which for two righties isn't as natural, but both of them are sort of roller and cross court.
Is that a word, rollering?
I don't know. I think I made it up.
I like it.
I made it a verb.
Yeah.
that example of the first step is back, and then it's 7 steps forward to try and chase that ball as it's sort of running away from you. You have to somehow move faster than the speed of the ball. So
it's a big mental hurdle to not take your first step being back. Your first instinct is to go back when the ball's coming hard at you, but and that's, I think, what everyone really learned how to not do, was take that first step back, when Niculescu, really forced everyone to learn that.
30-40.
But if you don't play against it a lot, it's hard to do it.
I like these probing, Lindsay Herschel sort of hitting these probing ground strokes. And very quickly, as soon as I said they were going after the side of Cran, they've been going after the side of Herschel just as much. So it's...
Of course.
Score is tied 2-2.
All right, good perseverance by Cran and Herschel. I mean, you see, they make you play. And
sometimes the best offense is a good defense.
And they're good. They're good at the net. They're good in the back in the sense that they can't, they can withstand the barrage of power from their opponents, which is not so easy to do.
Yeah, it looked a little deep. Really nice first volley.
A little wide.
Wow, that's an absolute cannon, and honestly, her positioning and the anticipation of going for that ball was the biggest part of what gave Niculescu that advantage there.
Corian is excited to partner with the APTA because whether as advisors to our members or as members themselves, they are already part of the APTA community. Learn more at www.coriant.com, the official wealth sponsor of the APTA.
All right, so what do you think? I feel like we've neglected our number 2 seeds, Hallbauer and Zabori, a little bit. The match is going quickly. Should we pop over there and see what's going on?
Let's do it, Steve.
All right, let's see. All right, here we go.
So in the previous round, McCollum and Oaks, I think they had the only upset in the second round. They took out the number 13 seeds of Baez and Bukian. The first set was an absolute epic set. I think it was something like 10-8 or 12-10 or something in the first set tiebreaker. So they've done really well to get here.
And in the red tops on the far side, that's Hallbauer and Zabori. You can hear that ball come off the paddle of Ellie Hallbauer, just an absolute cannon of a ground stroke.
Unlike what we were just saying about Niculescu and Berdesno, Zabori hits all kinds of different spins and slices. Halbauer not as much, although she's hitting it more than she ever has in paddle. She's developed a nice spin overhead, but that's sort of Zabori's signature.
Game, Halbauer Zabori. They lead the second set. 1-2
Yeah, it's been interesting, Lauren, this year. Obviously, early in the season, Flor Hanisch went down with a leg injury. Zabori and I believe they were playing Elliott and Lalich, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? So goes down with an injury. They were in control of the match. It was still early in the first set.
It was 3-love. It was 3-love.
But they were really sort of coming together. It
Yeah.
looked like they were in form. They looked really good. And Flor goes down, and here we are, right? So Ellie Halbauer and Maria Zabori are this new combo. It's been exciting and interesting to sort of see them come together. It's two of the, more prolific players in the current game. And I feel like they're on the verge of really gelling, right? They've had some great results, and they've had some matches that, they probably felt like they should have won. Short Hills was interesting against Jade and Matea and Mihalovic. That match is a very interesting final, went very deep into the match, and then they've, that tournament against Paige and Lopez, they were dominant in the semifinals, I think.
1-0, yeah.
And then you go to Cincinnati, and Paige and Lopez, have a really sort of tactical, successful win against this team. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how the Nationals sort of shapes up as we get into the quarters and semifinals. How these teams, these top 4 teams, really sort of gel at the right time. It's almost like it's anybody's game this year.
Well, there's certainly more than a handful of teams who you wouldn't be surprised to see in the finals. And that's exciting. And it's hard to say that there's a single favorite, which there usually is.
Great defense.
There's a moral victory there. McCallum and Oaks should be happy with that, which they obviously were. That was great.
30-40.
Yeah, and I mean, Halbauer and Zabori are just getting started. They've decided they're going to keep playing together, and I think they're excited to build on each other's strengths with each other. I mean, they are a scary team to be on the defensive against because they just come at you.
Yeah, the hands of Anna Zabori there are just really impressive, but it's really interesting to see what's developed over the past 4 weeks and how teams have approached playing them. There's really nowhere to hide, and we've seen both sort of, do we attack Ellie Halbauer? The last couple matches, it seemed like the teams were playing the Anna Zabori and sort of not wanting to engage in the big ground strokes from Halbauer. So you sometimes just have to decide, like, let's try something, let's see if this strategy works. And yeah, it's interesting to see some matches where people are sort of targeting Anna Zabori more so than Halbauer. But yeah, this is two choices that are, neither of them are good outcomes. So yeah, a little bit of one-way traffic here. I think both of the first 2 rounds, Halbauer and Zabori were victorious 1-0. So this is more of the same. It looks like they're sort of coming together. Quick start Friday of the Nationals week.
That's a good time to come together.
Yeah.
Bam.
You just hear it come off the paddle.
Yeah.
You just hear the explosion.
I did their earlier match, their second round match, Halbauer and Zabori, and Guy Moore and I were saying it sounds like she's hitting the ball even harder. It's making a really incredibly loud sound when it comes off Halbauer's paddle, which sounds like a silly thing to say, but I mean, she's just cracking the ball.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, aside from those big, when people decide to play Zabori instead because they don't want to deal with Halbauer's power, she's looking to come in behind one of Zabori's drives. I mean, she's a very good blitzer, Halbauer. She gets in so quickly and closes so tight.
Game, Halbauer Zabori.
So what do you think, Steve? Should we go back and check out that O'Sullivan Sarge Nube Townsend match?
Absolutely. All right, here we go.
Very different match here.
Yeah, Nube and Townsend still staying in the match. That's, wow, what a great return, but that's the one that, as a lefty, makes me nervous, and that's sort of that setup and that serve and volley position. It's a lot of ground, and for the returner, if they step in and catch that ball early, you're really going to be initially in the defensive. So yeah, really nice time for the right return there to tie this up at 3-all. There's that take it off the deck. Now in that case, I think that ball was absolutely heading towards the neck.
Well, Townsend was really persistent about hitting it into that Sarge corner, and it paid off.
Yeah, I think that's the right approach. Obviously, Gussie O'Sullivan, a little bit more experience, a little bit more patient in the screens, and this is one of the areas that I think Sarge still has some opportunities to further develop, and it's not a technical thing. I think it's sometimes a patience thing, like letting the ball play itself through the corner and letting it come out. Wow, big ball there.
30. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the trade-off is, I mean, O'Sullivan's never going to miss in those screens, and Sarge has, you know, if you hit a bad shot into Sarge's screen and it sits up or it's too hard, she can make you pay for it, but she'll miss a few more out of there. Switch.
Okay, I like that play.
Didn't work, but
Well, it
good
didn't
idea.
work, but
Yeah.
I still like the play.
Me too.
Sometimes just giving that team a different look and a different thought process of, okay, that was the safe spot, now it's not the safe spot. In the middle of the point, it's sort of a great, obviously something they decided to do. There's that really interesting sort of slice ground stroke.
There's the backhand. But I like the way Nube and Townsend are playing at the net. They look very intentional. They look like they have a plan. Good serve.
Yeah, right on the line.
New Bay Thompson lead 4 games to 3. First set.
This match is really feels very, very even to me.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I would say not just 9 seed versus 6 seed, but I would say there's been so much excitement around O'Sullivan and Sarge. Yet, you know, Nube and Townsend have been a little bit under the radar. We talk about they haven't had the breakout big win and maybe made it to that semifinal level of a tournament where Sarge, also playing with Taya Page, had some success, got some visibility, and then has had some, you know, great success with Gussie O'Sullivan. So, yeah, this is so far. I like the patience of Nube and Townsend, and it does seem like there's some intentionality about, you know, where they're hitting the balls, how they're playing. And we've been saying since the beginning, they have all the racket skills they need, right? They're both very powerful. It's just that when do you pull the trigger, right? When do you have that shot clock that gives you the patience? It's you know, that's coming in low. It's a little bit maybe the wrong ball to pull the trigger on, but yeah, it's a lot of firepower there.
I like that return. It's a nice short swing.
Yeah.
Just got right up to the ball, didn't let it drop.
Yeah, the forehand, the way it just, you said it, Lauren, it's a very simple takeaway and setup, and she just sort of moves forward with her, you know, with her shot, which is just so effective in paddle. Sometimes you see a big windup. Zabori has a big loopy windup that doesn't really hide, and there's the score there. Hallbauer and Zabori take that match 6-love, 6-love. So yeah, the effectiveness of Townsend, especially on the return, I really like it. Just staying in the point, right? Giving them one more opportunity.
And O'Sullivan and Sarge look a little frustrated to me. They don't look like they know exactly how they're winning their points here.
That's vintage Sarge. She loves coming forward and, of course, behind some absolutely big ground strokes, but they're also looping, right? The way she comes over the ball makes that volley or hit it below the height of the net and start off on a defensive. So, yeah, loves to move forward. And I think that's one of the things that you would look to see once they start gaining momentum is her athleticism sort of being a big difference maker.
Right, 3 points to break here. first set's not over yet. It's I wouldn't be surprised if it goes down to the wire either. I feel like these teams are just really neck and neck. Lopez and Page come away with a 6-2, 6-2 win over Prendergast and Zink.
Curtis Mihalovic up 6-2 and then 1-all in the second set against Metal and Billmeyer. And it looks like Elliot Lalich getting to the end of their match, 6-love, 5-1 in that second set. So yeah, I think we got a match here that's a dogfight. Though we do have Morgan Sikora in a first set tiebreaker against Hall and Davitila. Wow, she just made it. That's a tough angle. Oh, look at that.
That forehand,
big,
really.
Big forehand. This is the overhead that has really, I think it's a really good, effective sort of overhead to a spot. Oh, Townsend sort of had that opening. That's that, yeah, that lefty sort of soft down the middle by Sarge is really a big part of her game that's brought in some more patience over the last several weeks.
Big return with that backhand, Nube. Nice, just again, a nice compact stroke. She really brings the ball down well.
Yeah, a couple in a row. Sarge is absolutely on her shoestrings. Oh.
Was that gonna be in?
I don't know. What a grind. Love that. All right. What do you think?
I think we should probably check out Nicolescu and Rodezno and Cran Herschel.
Yeah, it looks like there's been a little bit of a momentum swing there. So let's pop over there. Here we go. Yeah, 6-2. It was a little tighter when we left the match, Lauren, but Nicolescu and Rodezno 6-2 in the first set, up 1-11 in the second.
15-30.
Well, that's not the worst slash overhead, Lauren. I may have to sort of call you out on that. That was impressive.
I'm wrong. I mean, I don't usually do it.
15-40.
I do think she's trying to add that to her game. I mean, the slash overhead is so effective, and so many women are using it now that, you know, Nicolescu can do anything. She should, you know, most certainly have that also. Smart shot.
Yeah, really nice probing. Well, she'll take that. Little leg court assistance, but yeah, nice game there for Cran and Herschel to tie it up at 1-all. Yeah, what I liked about those cutters from Redenzo, those overheads, she let the ball drop to a height closer to her shoulder, and it really allows it to sort of drive through the court versus more of that up and down action that sometimes can get you a little bit exposed.
Yeah, and I said Nicolescu when I meant Redesno, but
Yeah.
it holds for both of them. I mean, I
Yeah.
think that Nicolescu's doing it more too when she used to exclusively hit the roller.
Love 15.
I don't know if you heard it, Lauren. There was a little pre-game self-talk where Herschel said, "All right, first volley, stick the volley," and I think they're just waiting for the firepower.
Yeah.
You know, Redenzo hits an absolutely huge ball.
You can see she almost knocked Herschel over there.
Oh, did it stay in? Oh, I actually like the little prober there from Herschel. Just didn't get it over the net. Wasn't perfectly easy, but she did successfully get that first volley over.
15-30.
Yeah, nice technique from Cran. Just stays, stationary, legs grounded, a little bit of a wide base, and just let the paddle move to the ball. Oh boy, I don't think she thought she was going to play
That
it.
was self-preservation. Oh.
It's almost like Cran was hoping Nicolescu would let it go, but she played it.
PPAC Private Bank and Trust, proud sponsor of the 2026 APTA Nationals. A single point of contact for a world of financial advice. Visit ppacprivate.com today.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Lauren, you can feel from that last game and see how difficult it is to sort of control the power coming off the paddle, not just of Redenzo, but of Nicolescu as well. So it's, it's a little bit, the visual is Cran and Herschel are on the defensive, right? They're sort of playing on their heels, but there you go. Cran, rips a return herself.
Love 15.
Yeah, and you play these teams like Nicolescu and Redesno, or Halbauer and Zabori, and you say the right thing to do against them is slow it down, make the points longer, make them hit a million balls and work for it, and try to keep them back. But the problem is, it's not so easy to do that against them, because at the same time they're just barraging you with their power and variety. And they make, other teams make errors that they wouldn't ordinarily make otherwise. Good move.
I love the move. I love the setup of the paddle by Herschel. She sort of, as she's moving, she puts the paddle and sort of just follows the direction of the ball. Very, very effective as you're sort of coming forward, so you're not like swinging at it or like making an attempt.
Elliott and Lalich are through. They win 6-0, 6-2 over Banks and Barons.
just staying in those points, giving Redenzo and Nicolescu an opportunity to make an error, and they did. So staying tight here feels like a big game for Cran and Herschel. I really like the, oh my goodness, what a cannon. I love the service motion and sort of the effectiveness of the shape of the serve by Cran.
15 love.
Didn't phase Redenzo, but it's it's one of the nicer serves on the women's tour. I really sort of like the way she hits it.
Very natural motion.
Yeah.
That's that overhead though was sitting up too high in the screen. Well, that one was good. If you're gonna do that, it doesn't matter where it sits.
30 love.
Oh, it stayed in. You got that? Oh, what again? Oh, not that one. I called it. I had a feeling she was going to get back there, but that was just too good off the nick. You know, it's interesting, Lauren. I can't figure out tactically who Nicolescu and Redenzo are attacking when they're at the net. They seem to, and of course, Cran and Herschel have, switched naturally from a service game perspective, but it seems like, Nicolescu loves the down, the down the line, inside in deuce court roller. She doesn't really hit it as naturally inside out like
inside
a lot
out,
of people do.
Yep, she loves the inside in.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, you saw her in the last
Yeah.
point, 2 points ago. She hit the inside out one pretty damn well.
Yeah.
But
Actually like the slowdown and little chat here by Cran and Herschel. Obviously being down a set. This is the round of 16. It feels like it's a match obviously that's important to both teams, but yeah, let's. Oh, you got to find a way to win that. Well done by Redenzo to sort of take her medicine and get out of it. And again, nothing Herschel did wrong there. It's almost like you need to try and find the ankles or the feet of the retreating person and make them sort of attempt a shot that they shouldn't play. Yeah, nice communication. You think you want that, but probably not the one she should have pulled the trigger on. Nice spot by Cran to just sort of lay it over towards the side screen.
yeah, great job by Cran and Herschel by making these points long.
And you have to think, Lauren, that, oh, really nice stretch there. You have to think they're trying to withstand the big power shot, and then they can play a point, right? Then they can, like here, they can sort of get in the offense, but it's all about getting through that firepower and then being able to play the point you want to play. Oh boy, what a nice spot there by Nicolescu.
And that would have been it. Most teams would have lost the point already.
mean, you just have to get out of the way of that ball. Nicolescu's coming in super hot.
First set won by Nicolescu Modesto, 6-2.
With cutting-edge fitting technology and the widest selection of hockey gear, Pure Hockey is the ultimate destination for players of all levels and the industry leader in hockey retail.
All right, what do you think? Should we pop over? It looks like Nube and Townsend, O'Sullivan, Saric are getting a little bit towards the end line,
Yeah.
so let's pop over there.
Let's do it.
So here's the updated score. 3-love lead in the second. An interesting sort of acceleration after that first set by Nube and Townsend, but they played really well as we were watching before, so it'll be interesting to see what the dynamic is that's gotten them to this point. It feels like it's a surprise, from a score perspective. But from what we saw at the beginning of the match, Lauren, this is a team who were bringing firepower from the very beginning.
They're playing really well, Nube and Townsend. At least they were when we were watching, and obviously they've continued to because they've only built their lead since then. But they're playing really well. They look very in sync. They look like they know what they're what their plan is, and they're being very effective. So Saric and O'Sullivan have not yet found an answer, and they're going to have to try to do it quickly.
I like that overhead by Saric, and I don't love the pulling the trigger by Nube. I think that's probably a little bit ambitious to sort of make that the ball you pull the trigger on. Wow.
I mean, she's really, as we've said over and over, Townsend is really hitting that forehand return so well. She just has that short backswing. She uses her feet to get it up at the very top of the bounce, and she's putting it wherever she wants.
Oh, it looks like they gave that call. They may have reversed that call there. And it's tough when you're at the net and Sarge takes that underhand cut and the ball's sort of rising as it's coming to you. Your natural instinct is to let it go, but I think that one may have just stayed in. It's really tight. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
I mean, how much earlier could she have set up and showed that she was going to play it, and it didn't matter.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter.
Beautiful execution by Gussie O'Sullivan. Love it. Maybe the cutter of the tournament so far. He just takes so much confidence. Oh, really? That's it.
And this is the time for O'Sullivan and Sarge to make their move.
Yeah, may have been a little bit of a momentum boost.
Curtis Mihalovic are through.
Curtis Mihalovic did not play Cincinnati. Is that right, Lauren? So
That is correct.
This is their follow-up to that victory at Short Hills, and I think everybody's excited to see them get deep into the draw and compete.
Wow.
Nice point, nice spot by Nube there.
Yeah, Townsend got away with a great grab that she made on that volley.
There it
It's
is
so
again.
funny that, you know what, I mean, she hits it all the time, Sarge. I'm used to it, that kind of, that chip forehand, but it's causing Nube all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, it doesn't appear natural what's happening, but a topspin shot, you just think about how the spin's going to come off your paddle. It's naturally going to jump up and the slice is going to be pulled down. But yeah, Nube sort of has to think through point of contact and almost come under the ball. Sometimes you see a little bit of more of a handsy push volley to make sure you're not just hitting that natural tennis slice volley, which I think is what Nube's doing. She's putting slice against slice, and sometimes it can be a little bit...
There it is again.
Yeah, go back at it.
That one was higher, so it wasn't as much of an issue.
It's just a little bit playing with fire over that. That Sarge backhand, almost like Townsend's forehand, is a very simple trigger she pulls. It's a nice, simple setup.
Okay. We have a match again.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we jinxed them. Actually, Nube and Townsend played two good games, but it was Sullivan and Sarge actually played two really nice games since we came back. And of course, it looks like they got a little momentum. Maybe it was a Gussie O'Sullivan cutter that sort of got a little spark. Sarge followed it up with a nice blitz sort of to move forward. So yeah, sometimes the momentum swings, you know they're coming, but you need that little spark.
Yeah, and I really think these two teams are so closely matched that, you know, if someone wins a couple games, it's likely the other one's going to win a couple games. Doesn't feel to me, and I could be proven wrong, that anyone's going to pull away and win this set easily at this point.
What a
Great
volley.
volley.
I thought it was a setup by Townsend. It was perfect.
Yeah. I don't know how she kept that volley so low from where she hit it.
Townsend's really using a lot of nice pace, change of pace for the big return is probably twice as fast as that little prober when she sees somebody off the net.
I don't like that shot because Nube's feet, she wasn't in position. She didn't have that solid base beneath her when she went for it. I mean, she has that shot, but she's got to be still when she hits it, and she was still moving.
Yeah, sometimes the energy of the point escalates and escalates and escalates, and you chase it. And I think that's what's happened a couple of the points in the last two games. Nube's sort of gone bigger. And I think that's when sort of the reset certainly defuse the energy in the point and then figure out what the right opportunity is that you want. A little bit of a different sort of execution of that forehand. She was a little flatter, almost a little bit sort of push versus the bigger balls she's been hitting.
Yeah, it was like she almost tried to chip it.
Yeah. You know, she's setting the points up so well. She lobbed really well there. I think Sarge was getting near the baseline when she went back to hit that overhead. and I feel like she's been using pace. I may have jinxed myself by saying it a few points ago.
Yeah.
And that one, I think she just absolutely tried to hit it. I mean, it would have come so hard off the back screen that she may have not gotten much from it. So this is, 3-love back to 3-all. This is where Nube and Townsend just have to find a way to sort of another quick unforced error. All right, Alexan and Bohr, 6-4, 6-4 over Delmonico and Gebbia.
30.
It seemed like that one was a little bit in front of Sarich, where she probably should have pulled the trigger.
Yeah, she certainly didn't control that
Yeah.
slice. And there it is again.
Nice spot, but a really good dig by Sarich.
Big moments here. I feel like if O'Sullivan and Sarge win this game, that'll be 4 games in a row, and that's just demoralizing. Did that go over?
It did, and I think it was debated whether it was in. It sort of
Oh,
hung on the
that was in.
net tape a little bit, but it did, stay
Wow,
at.
what a time to hit a let cold serve winner. Jeez. Davatila and Hall gave Morgan and Sakura all they could handle in the first set, but Morgan and Sakura come away with the win. I think Davatila and Hall were up by quite a bit in that first set.
So Nube and Townsend playing a nice patient point. I think what you are looking for is probably you want to tempt Sarich to go for a shot that she shouldn't otherwise hit, right? I think you play her in that side screen and sort of tempt her to hit one of those flippy backhands, but it's so far they've played the point perfectly. And again, I think you want to stay away from O'Sullivan because she's the more patient, sort of steady defender.
Yeah, and you don't want to give Sarge too many looks on her backhand, but if you can keep that ball down the middle like they're doing.
Yeah, make them do something. I think
Yep.
it's just letting them, pull the trigger when they shouldn't. Now, I don't love that small spot, right? That's a really small target area for Townsend, but she keeps going at it. And actually, I think Sarge is doing a good job not letting it go into the net because she's sort of zoned in on that spot. Nice spot.
Ooh.
Really good dig. I see the nick coming. They
Yeah,
want
yeah.
the nick. Sarge is doing a great job over there in the corner.
They're going to keep
Oh.
going there.
But that's where Townsend's got to be careful. I think she just put that one on the line. It's a really small target. No, that's a tough, really tough shot. So back to deuce. I love the point. They played a great point.
It's a great point.
They went 100 shots into the point, so it's tough to sort of say you pulled the trigger at the wrong time. I think it was a safe spot, but the more Townsend moves towards that alley, it's just a really, really tight target.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard angle to hit that overhead and keep it in the court without making it so close.
All right, break point. She missed it.
Missed it. That's a tough game to lose if you're New Bay and Townsend.
Yeah, a little bit of one-way traffic in the last 4 games. We may have jinxed them, but should we go
totally.
take a peek?
When I said no one's going to run away with it,
Yeah. So Cran Herschel also coming back in that second set. How about we pop over there and see how they're doing?
Let's do it.
All right, so a similar potential change in momentum and heading towards the third set. Both these matches, the team that lost the first set's up 4-3. This is Redenzo serving in the near court. That's Herschel in the light top in the ad side.
Is that in?
I think you just said out loud what Cran said internally to, as she looked at Herschel. I think she was saying the exact same thing. They're saying it was in, but I think they were hoping and praying it was out.
Ooh.
Wow,
That's
nice
a good
lob.
lob.
But I do really like how Redenzo lets that lob come down low, almost shoulder height, and sort of swipes through it from, back through the ball. It's very effective.
15-30.
Oh, what hands by Nicolescu. That's so tricky with that lead court.
Yeah. She has great
Comes
hands.
at you. You just see Cran just sort of probing for an opening.
Keeping the lob nice and deep, though. Just keeping them out of the service box. Not good enough there.
As much as I said she loves the inside in, that was a really nice back to side screen that made Herschel sort of not know how to play it. Nice shot there.
I mean, truthfully, Nicolescu can hit that roller anywhere. I mean, she can put it on a dime, inside out, inside in, down the middle, at you, wherever she wants it.
How did she stay in that point?
I don't know.
Nice patience.
30-40.
Sometimes you get a little bit anxious when that ball hits the tape and everybody's right in front of you, but Herschel just sort of took her time, played it to the right spot, and yeah, got themselves an opportunity here for a 5-3 lead. Great point. This is what we call the spin cycle.
Spin cycle, yes.
Really nice job by Cran defending there. And she played it the right way, right? She follows it into the back screen towards the side screen.
And, you know, I mean, you see that Cran looked way more comfortable on those rollers, that combination of rollers, than she did in the first set. I mean,
Yeah.
she's learning as we go. A big point erased there.
Yeah. Perfect spot, right? Herschel's retreating. She has her paddle in front of her, and honestly, Nicolescu just, you know, aimed for the feet, and that's just the perfect spot. Really nice job, Cran and Herschel. Just they keep defending those big, you know, ground strokes.
I love the way they defend those volleys. They get in front of the ball with their backhand volley, and they're getting every one of them back.
And that, you know, you mentioned Lauren, they have a little bit, not just Cran, the way she was playing that corner, but they have a little bit more confidence about them. They just seem more grounded. At that point, they took their time, they got the transition, they came to net, they reset the point, and they let Redenzo, a little bit quick on the trigger there, but nice setup.
Yeah, I mean, it was all set up for her. She had it. She just tried to end it a little too quickly.
All right, another game point for 4-all.
She missed
Good
it.
try, good try.
She got there.
Nice hands by Nicolescu, really soft drop.
First set 6-2.
All right, both of these matches, these last two of the three we're covering, grinding into the second set. Obviously a big opportunity for Cran and Herschel to sort of move ahead a little bit, but yeah, Newbay and Townsend also sort of hanging in. They're down 4-3.
Yeah, it's been a long game over there. Sullivan Sarge had an ad, now Newbay and Townsend have an ad. I think it's their second or third.
Oh, it was tight. Again, that's that really tough, small target zone. Cran just caught the end of the sideline there. Nice spot there by Nicolescu.
It's like
Oh, just snuck through. All right, big point here, 4-all, 30-all. And we're still in that same 4-3 game over in the New Bay Townsend match.
that game's been going on for 20 minutes, I think.
We're gonna have to take a look over there at some point.
Yeah.
Both teams sort of digging in here. Feels like the pressure and the importance of this 1 point is felt by both sides.
Steve, I'm going to do my Patty Hogan imitation now.
Oh, there you go. I love it, Lauren. So, yeah, nice to see you here for a second. Give Lauren Mandel a second. This is an absolute battle here. Nicolescu and Rudenzu win the first set pretty convincingly, and Cran Herschel, surprise, surpriser, not giving up, right? They're fighting through this second set.
Cran Herschel, they had a good tournament, Short Hill, Steve. You know, they've kind of been teetering on that around being 7th and 8th in the country for a couple of years here. They're a rock solid team from Massachusetts. But, you know, Nicolescu, Rodesno, both former national champs. Pretty cool.
And just an unbelievable amount of firepower we're seeing. Obviously, Nicolescu has it, but Rodenzo just hits some big forehand. She's got an absolute cannon. And I think Cran and Herschel, for the most part in this match, have been trying to sort of get through the firepower, make the first volley, then play the point they want to play, or sort of defend that one big shot. So it's been interesting to see how they've sort of strategically worked their way back into this match. I think they're trying to avoid those big Rodenzo shots. And honestly, they've just played very steady. This is a point that's been going on for a little bit. And
Steve, has the Nicolescu overhead had an impact in this match? That heavy roller, has she?
Yeah, she's hit a lot of it. She's loving the inside in. At times it looks like they're trying to attack Cran. So Nicolescu from the ad side's inside in, right? She's not going a lot inside out. She is selectively. But I think, Herschel's been a little bit more dynamic in this match, creating opportunities, blitzing, moving forward, trying to sort of make the match a little bit more dynamic. So, yeah, they've been very effective, and obviously that's them taking a 5-4 lead. But you know what, Patty? I think we need to hop over. We are at 4-all in the second set. New Bay Townsend just evened it up, so we're going to pop over there for a look to see which team can sort of make their way through the second set.
Steve, I love the wire-to-wire where we can just switch courts, switch matches. What a great thing that we're incorporating in here and being able to show every round of 16 match, men or women at nationals. Pretty cool.
All right, so we're going to get Lauren Mendel back here in the booth. And like I said, this is a interesting set. The second set, New Bay Townsend played really well in the first set. Maybe it was a little bit unexpected to get such a good start. They played really well. A lot of firepower from Townsend. And, Sullivan and Sarge sort of came back quickly and got a bit of a lead. And, we talked about, we were covering the other court, this back and forth game. We missed most of it at 4-3. There was probably 10 or 12 deuces back and forth. And New Bay and Townsend finally got, that point. And, yeah, so not the best time fault here, but we got 15-all.
Tough serve to come back with.
Yeah, after the fault, sometimes you get a little bit more tentative, but every point's important. This point feels significant for New Bay and Townsend, just to sort of maybe get a little bit of freedom at 40-15 to, try and get the 5-4 lead. But they've had a few of these points and they've played them very patiently. They use the center of the court, very well. They're staying away from some of the weapons from Sarich. And part of that, you can see Gussie O'Sullivan absolutely working in the backcourt.
But they've definitely, they're definitely focusing on that center of the court.
Oh, what an absolute scrape. We could hear it, we couldn't see it. Yeah, it looks like our other match came to a quick conclusion there. Nicolescu and Rodesno pulled out that last game for a 6-2, 6-4 victory. So it looks like they're sort of deciding that center ball is not one where Sarge is going to pull the trigger on a forehand. Gussie O'Sullivan sort of looks like intentionally covering a lot of that center. There's a couple where it looks like Sarge could have moved over and she's not, so they must have sort of figured that out. And you can see the footwork. Sarge is looking for an opportunity.
Yeah, she's trying to get herself involved.
Yeah.
Nice low ball.
And a nice volley. I thought that was a
Me too.
tricky spot. Yeah, Sarge is leaving that center of the court for O'Sullivan. Oh, that's just a great get. She wants to get involved. She moved a little bit too far forward. But, yeah, defended it. Oh, I hate those shots. They're so difficult to play, and they always just nip over the net. So, yeah, nice nice grind. A couple. I thought Sarge was in trouble 2 in a row.
She got herself in trouble, but she got herself out of trouble even better than she got in trouble.
Yeah, for sure. And this is where I think is some of the areas where I think she could get better in simplifying her positioning. She wants to. All right.
30, 40.
A little bit of a dead hand there in the volley. You can see. Wow. I don't know what else to say, but wow, Townsend just sort of held that volley. Let Sarge be athletic, and that athleticism sort of worked against her, but she sort of held it and just played it up the line. Really nice and such an opportune time for that. So I felt like a couple tentative points. So yeah, really important serve here. All right. So sort of now back to figuring out like where they want to see the offense come from. I think they've been playing O'Sullivan a lot. Yeah, I don't mind it from that point in the court. That's okay because you have enough places or enough space to hit it. When she moves over to the alley is when I get a little bit anxious when she hits that.
Yeah, because then you're just threading the needle. There's no
You're threading
room.
the needle.
No room for error. No margin for error. I mean, you can just feel how big every point is here.
So it's tough to say who's the pressure on in this situation. Not in the match, but in the point. Like, it almost feels like Townsend and Nube are
Townsend.
under a little bit more pressure,
Yes,
right?
100%. Yes.
They have to do something with every, and there's one, like at some point it gets very mentally draining to keep hitting that volley and keep hitting the right spots and avoiding the backhand of Sarge. Yeah.
And also somewhere in the back of their head, I also think is, you know, they won the first set, they were up 3-love, they were cruising along, and things got much more complicated. Good move.
So it's interesting. We talked in the other match, Lauren, about Herschel's approach when she blitzes and she sort of holds the backhand and follows it and chases it to the net. Townsend sort of came in more about her physicality, and I think she's sort of had the paddle on her forehand side wide open. And then it makes it a tricky decision of like how to play it. It got into her body, and she really didn't have a natural play versus sort of coming in with that backhand position. So a little bit of a technique thing, I think, that Nube can learn from on that one. But she made the right move. It just became a difficult ball to play.
Yeah, she almost had to shovel it.
Yeah. Sorry, Gussie. That was a shoulder shot. Just a great return. Right at her feet. Followed it in very instinctually. Nice communication there, signaling to O'Sullivan that Nube was looking to move forward. I feel like she could have pulled the trigger on that one. Wow, what great lobbing by Nube.
That's the same shot we talked about before. Somebody else tried to drive. Oh, it was Townsend. Nube tried to drive where she obviously has that forehand drive, but you can't hit it while your feet are moving towards the ball. You have to be set.
And she's almost in front of Nube when she hits it.
Yeah.
All right, see if she shortens up. She's got a bit of a slice grip. I'm not sure she's going to hit the forehand.
You're right.
She just
You're right.
she plays it, and I don't mind that because she took it, very early, move forward, and it's that distance we talked about before. I don't love
know why they're
Sarge.
doing it. I don't know why they don't just switch. When they're up at the net, that makes no sense to me. It's such a hard first volley.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. This is sort of a receiver's dream, this set. A little bit of back and forth. I'm loving the sort of competitive back and forth of this match. I feel like Nube and Townsend are sort of feeling it. This is a match that they can win, right? And I think they're proving to themselves they're right in this match.
Oh, they're more than in it. I mean, they're
on the cusp.
They're close to winning it, and this is the match that, at the beginning when we were saying they haven't really had their big win yet. Like, this is it, and what a time to do it. But, it's, as we all know, it's not easy to close out a paddle match, especially, one against such worthy opponents and ones that are so close.
Yeah, you need to think through with that sort of soft a serve and big return by Sarge if serving and volleying even makes sense.
Back to their bread and butter in this match, down the middle with the overheads.
Oops, I think she missed it, yep.
Where's she gonna hit this serve?
I almost like giving up the net. They've been confident, you know, they've played well from the baseline.
Oh, she hit it. She tried to hit it.
But I think that's the trap.
Yeah.
You overthink,
Yeah.
right? I would have popped it in and maybe just given him the net. Oh, get over. All right. Servers have had a little bit of a difficulty. I think we've been, if I follow the score we last left, I think it's probably been 5 breaks in a row maybe.
Right, since 3-all, right? Or
Yeah,
3-2?
yeah, yep. So this is going to be O'Sullivan serving from this side, I believe. And yeah, I think that if you're Newbay and Townsend, keep swinging away, right? They've been returning very well. They've been very confident. I think playing more traditionally, you know, without that big gap on the ad side that we talked about with Sarge chasing those balls down. I think Gussie will be a little bit more in control here, but I think if you're Newbay and Townsend, swing away. Like that. I mean, it's just a
That
bomb.
what swing away is right.
I mean,
look, O'Sullivan. You know, she has an attackable serve, and
Yeah.
You just have to. You have to go with what got you here, and what got them to this point in the match is hitting those returns.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So nice.
a
and
really
low.
nice pace. Yeah, really nice pace. And it's not the one you're expecting because she's been taking these big cuts into the deuce court. All right, so this is Sarge and O'Sullivan thinking about the Newbay return, right? They're trying to figure out what do we do based on what she's going to do. And okay, they're going I guess the cross court's probably been the tougher one to defend.
And she stayed back. Smart.
Yeah, I think it's really smart, and obviously Newbay did the right thing. She just sort of, you know, controlled it into the court, took the net. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice work there. Nice
the hole there.
hands. Nick stayed up.
Yeah. Didn't quite catch the nick.
Yep. I don't mind the look, though. You wonder about the direction. It's one of those shots that you could debate whether she should have hit it or not. But O'Sullivan, if she plays naturally, is going to be right on top of the net. So what are you going to gain? She has great hands. She's probably going to put it right back on your feet. If anything, maybe you go cross-court towards Sarge. Wow.
Great.
Really
great.
nice.
Kept moving forward.
Yep.
Newbay. Really well done. All right, do we think that O'Sullivan's going to stay back again?
I think I might because, well, let's see the positioning. Townsend.
Same thing.
Yeah, I like the eye. I think she stays back. And she stays back, Lauren, because like they do on the opposite way, it's an impossible ball to chase down if you have a good returner. So I think she smartly stays back. It seems like we've watched this point a couple times already, right? It's a very repetitive sort of point, and all the credit in the world because most of these points have been going 30, 40, 50 shots because Nube and Townsend are just sort of playing the right spots. They're not giving Sarge the backhand.
No, I like it. They have a strategy, and for the most part, it's working. They're O'Sullivan and Sarge aren't gaining anything with these balls down the middle.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a shot.
Nube thought it was going wide.
It would have been tough to play anyways.
Yeah.
Such a nice sort of lazy, sliding shot down the line. So, all right, we have a set point here. Oh, she made it.
That looked like it was going to be wide to me also. And there it is.
It's a great pace. Yeah, all credit to O'Sullivan Sarge. I think, it'll be interesting to see how this third set starts off. Looks like both teams are going to stay on the court. And, it's a little bit of, neutral energy, I thought, in that second set. Nube and Townsend had their opportunities. They played well. But Sarge and O'Sullivan just sort of played the big points at the right time. And, yeah, here we go. Not surprising. It's a third set.
I felt a little inevitable that this match was going to go the distance. I felt a little silly when I said that there were going to be no big game swings in this match, and it was 3-love, and then the other team won 4 games in a row. But at the end of the day, it ended up being an incredibly tight set, and all the games from 4 all on were like do sad. I mean, the set it's been a very long set, and I have no doubt we'll see more of the same in the third.
Yeah, so we think about the women's draw. This is the last round of 16 that's still on the court. The other, teams are already advanced to the quarterfinals, which will start at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. We have Redenzo Nicolescu, who we saw. There will go against Hallbauer and Zabori. The winner of this match will feed into Morgan Sakura, our 4th seed. And then on the top half, Lopez Page will go Alexan and Bohr and Curtis Mihalovic against Elliott and Lalich, which I think is a match everybody's going to want to see. I think if this draw is sort of sizing up, I'm not sure which match we're calling tomorrow, Lauren, but I think if I look at the quarterfinal matches, just based on that Short Hills victory by Jade and Matea, like this is setting up to be a nice quarterfinal. Wow, long first point. A little bit of a battle right out of the gate.
The question is, will Nube and Townsend change? It doesn't seem to me like they're going to change their strategy.
Yeah, I would say it's tough to be critical of a very hard-fought split set match so far. Yeah, I think the things, a couple balls they missed, right? There's a couple errors and maybe a couple shot selection things that they would want back. They pulled the trigger on a couple that I think we both thought initially maybe that wasn't the one to take. So I think it's a little more of the same and maybe a little more patience, just sort of, again, giving Sarge and O'Sullivan the opportunity to sort of play them off the court. And so far they really haven't. Those soft, subtle slices have definitely caused them some trouble. Oh, she got it. It's just so natural for Sarge to go after and try to play that ball. It was coming in pretty hot. I think she would have had a nice play off the back screen. But yeah, there's Michelle Nube, again, just sort of moving forward, being an aggressor at the net, which I think is, paid off for her so far. I really like the variability that Gussie O'Sullivan brings to when she defends. She mixes up a lot of probing ground strokes. She changes the direction, right, of her lobs really well, so it keeps the other team. Oh, that's a great defense, and again, loves it off the deck.
Good deep lobs from O'Sullivan.
Yeah, and you see she's going back and forth a little bit, changing the direction, making the move, right, to hopefully create an opportunity for an opening. And again, we said this before, Lauren, which team's a little bit under pressure? And I think we like the setup of the point, but it seems like at some point, 50, 60, 70 shots in, they run out of options, and it gets a little bit, I don't know, it gets a little bit stale for them, where they either just maintain, but yeah, it's
they're not missing on the difficult shots. It's like a run-of-the-mill shot, but like you said, it's 50, 60 shots into the point. It's almost like they lose focus or concentration for a second, and that's all it takes. They're handling all the difficult drives.
again, just the right spot, the right pace, and made, you can see Townsend sort of lunging for it.
1 game to love, 3rd set.
Yeah, I don't know tactically if I'm Nube and Townsend if I would do much different, because I think
No.
it's been generally successful, but O'Sullivan's super strong in that corner. She's, you know, incredibly dynamic about the shot variability she hits, so as much as I want to say you should probably mix Sarich in a little bit more, you're playing with fire if you find her backhand, and she's done
Yeah.
also a really good job defending.
Yeah, I mean, that's always a tricky thing, right? You're saying O'Sullivan, she's hurting them sometimes, but it's with her variety. It's with the slice, it's with, you know, hitting that low slice off the side screen, but she's not hitting you or anybody off the court. But she's driving them to miss in the sense that, you know, she's getting every single ball back deep, and it's exhausting.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, you then, you know, switch to Sarich. Well, that she actually could hit you off the court, and she could hurt you with one single ball, and that's what they've been sort of staying away from. So it's a, you know, it's a tough choice.
Those are the shot selection things that I think,
Yeah.
and it's, you know, I say it from the perspective that Newberry and Townsend have played a great match.
Yes.
I still think this is a winnable match, and we talked about the progress and the progression of some of these teams that are sort of on the cutting edge of, you know, not only being in the top 10, but like threatening the top 5, and I think the good news for Townsend and Newberry is I still think they have more room to grow, and it's probably been from that exact thing, like going for those shots that they may think they have that they probably shouldn't play as quickly in the point as they tried to today. They're both lobbing very, very well.
I think Sarich should have let that one go. She was already almost back there. Would have been a pretty easy ball off the screen.
All right, a tricky point here for Nube and Townsend.
Nice
Just
return.
a really nice return.
Handled well, though.
Yeah, nothing too big here. I think they just want to give Nube and Townsend an opportunity. Oh my goodness, what a bullet. I was going to say to do that, but
And
not.
she was set up for that. You know, you could
but
tell
her
before
shoulders
she
were
hit
turned,
it.
yeah.
Yes, her
Yeah.
feet were set. She wasn't moving. It just, makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it absolutely flowed. She just really coiled on her backswing really nicely, and yeah, couldn't have been a better time for that, because I felt like the risk was that they sort of pulled the trigger when they weren't set or when it wasn't in the right position. But all right, so now we get back to this natural point of them at the net. Oh, what a great volley. Sarge has done really well on the ones that I think she's in trouble on. So that's really nice technique. Let that ball come to you.
Oof.
Yeah, just missed it.
Same thing, right? It's just a long point and then just a little sloppy mistake for no apparent reason. I think she was trying to do too much with that ball. I think she was trying to hit that volley too close to the sideline, but
all right, so a huge game. This is the game in the last set that they struggled with. Couple faults, and it starts off with a fault. So this is a little bit of the danger zone. I think Nube's doing a good job. Slow it down. Give her a little bit of affirmation.
that's a tough feeling. That serve missed halfway up the net.
Yeah, and well, that's a different issue. But what I was going to say was, you know, Townsend can hit that serve,
yeah.
And I think it can be incredibly sufficient. Like it's good enough. Now the issue with Sarge is whether they should be staying up or, you know,
right.
Giving back the net. But again, a separate issue. Going back and forth between sort of the push steady serve and the big swinging cut serve, that's really difficult, right? Going, you know.
I mean, Macy Elliott can do it, and she does it.
Yeah.
But I don't. I think it's very difficult.
Really nice dig. Looked like Nube wanted to make something happen there. Yeah, I could see it coming. She's done such a good job, Sarge, in sort of controlling the spin. And that ball that sort of goes off the side screen with a lot of spin, it just makes the defender in that case sort of overthink. Is it a one screen or is it a two screen? And she got Nube a little bit caught up in that. So yeah, really nice job. And again, from 5-all, that's now 5 games in a row. And it feels like O'Sullivan and Sarge have taken the wind out of the sails of Nube and Townsend.
It really does. I mean, it's just so frustrating when, I mean, a few of those games at the end of the second set, I think just demoralized them. And they're doing a good job of not really showing it, keeping their head up, staying positive. There's no negative energy that you can see towards each other. But it's just, there's been so many long games and so many long points that they're coming up on the wrong side of. And it's mentally exhausting. I mean, they've been out there playing for 2.5 hours.
Every time you think Sarich is in trouble, she just gets the paddle on the ball and puts it on the court.
And that's just a tired, frustrated mistake. That's not a, that's not a shot that Dubé would normally miss. It's just. All right, well, maybe that'll give them. That was exciting and a great, really well played point. I mean, maybe that'll give them the spark they need, because I mean, look, they were up 3-love in the second set, Newbay and Townsend, and lost it. There's no reason they can't turn this around from here, but they have to do it now.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, she just missed it.
40-15.
It's just a really big cut overhead. And honestly, 6 to 8 weeks ago, it wasn't nearly as effective. So she's just really done a really nice job developing and working on the way she comes around that ball. I mean, that's...
O'Sullivan, Sarich lead, 4 games to love.
You know, it's interesting, Lauren. We talked about how comfortable Newbay and Townsend were at the net and getting deep into those points. It's almost like their challenge is like, now what? There's like no winning formula to end those points.
Yeah.
Where Sarich and O'Sullivan seem like they're able to be a little bit more offensive and sort of make Newbay and Townsend make a decision that's not maybe the best decision on when to pull the trigger. Like they're able to win those points where Newbay and Townsend haven't quite figured out how to end it, successfully, other than, and again, this is another opportunity. They know how to avoid the Sarich backhand. They've been patient. They get to 50, 60 balls a lot of times.
But then what?
But then it's...
And now Sullivan and Sarich with this big lead, they're just feeling so comfortable, like they can do anything. So that makes it even harder.
Oh, wow. Is that why they avoid the backhand? So good.
That's a nice drive.
Yeah, the ball's set up a little bit. I feel like the one Sarge goes down the middle, the pace is really nice. When she attacks, sometimes you can get a little bit hard and the ball sort of sits up. And Newbay, made her pay for that one.
Nice soft ball. It's been a troublesome shot for everybody this match. Couldn't handle the pace of that forehand drive. Close, but I think she missed it. Good move.
Really nice move. You could see that paddle from Townsend go up pretty quickly. It's really nice instinct from Saric.
Saric looks like she wants to end this match right here. Right, we shouldn't hit this many forehands in the whole match. As she's
that's
just 2 points.
That's what I was thinking. She has that forehand,
Yeah.
but somehow they've decided to sort of put it down for the majority of this match. But it's such a nice looping topspin. It's very difficult to volley. Right on the line.
Right on the line.
Again, what is the combination where Nube and Townsend can find a way to finish this point?
I think their best success has been when they get Saric leaning towards the middle or coming forward or whatever, and then they get behind her. But that's not so easy. but they haven't broken O'Sullivan down at all over there.
Oh, right. Great hands by Nube. Oh, good try. A big nick, and Gussie O'Sullivan sort of read it well. Just couldn't keep it on her paddle. I mean, I could say this is a must-win point in a must-win game, but I guess I just did.
Big forehand from O'Sullivan.
Yeah, she likes to shape it with a lot of spin, but she can hit it and
Yeah,
flatten it out a little
yeah.
bit too.
Point for 5-love. It's almost like they're just trying to stay out of trouble. But they're tactically playing it very well, but then they're Yeah, it's like a dripping tap almost. You're just kind of waiting, because that's just what the pattern's been, right? It's been even at all those points, and then just a sort of random error from Nube and Townsend.
You know, it's interesting that the mental process at that point is, do I go to 100 shots and 150 shots, or do I don't know what you get on that ball specifically, unless you just start going harder into the nick and making them, you know, play harder, more aggressive balls, maybe. I don't know, you try and hit shorter and bring them forward, but you know, you don't want to do that to Sarge, so it's, yeah, I mean, this is part of the evolution, figuring out, like, what is that magic recipe or combination. They're just not getting a lot from Sarge and O'Sullivan. They're sort of refusing to miss on the defense.
Great lob.
They've just stopped missing Sarge and O'Sullivan, which is such a demoralizing thing to be on the other side of the net. And it's almost like I'm overthinking like what to do. They're not getting a lot, right? Every team's going to give you something. They're just not getting a lot. And look, Sarge gets that as well.
And it's just right back in it.
Right, changes the energy, and now we're back into the same pattern. And it's honestly nothing that Nube and Townsend are doing wrong. I mean, these are very good points.
Right. I mean, Nube and Townsend are playing all the points equally as well, if, you know, some better than their opponents until the 50th shot, right? I mean, that's really what it's come down to. That O'Sullivan and Sarge aren't missing after 50 balls, and Nube and Townsend are.
Oh, that can't go in.
Yeah.
What a great stab.
Look, you see Nube, she's like, for God's sakes, I mean,
They
is that
finally
what
missed.
it's going to take? Really?
And I think at that point, it's not the worst look from Sarge. I'm not sure it's the best execution,
Yeah.
but it's not the
Yeah.
worst look. Especially since it's 5 love, 15 love.
Right, of course. The score
Yeah.
enables you to take
Yeah.
bigger cuts than maybe you necessarily would. Over 2.5 hours into it, we have arrived at double match point. There it is.
So it's interesting. I don't love the score, the result, because I feel like it was such a good competitive match. At that third set, seeing on the scoreboards a little bit underestimating how well Nube and Townsend played. They just ran into a team that stopped missing. And,
Yeah,
you know,
I
as much
mean,
as-
all credit to O'Sullivan and Sarge, who played that third set flawlessly.
All right, so there, Lauren, there's more paddle to come, right? We have the men's round of 16 coming, the APTA's YouTube channel. So for us, for Lauren Mandel, for myself, I'm Steve Sullivan. That's a wrap, and stay tuned.